Hey,
Oh,
we are live.
yeah, we are. And this is blinking like
My
crazy. Come on.
God, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the 500 on Pro Wrestling Simulated, where it turns out we're the most normal show in professional wrestling.
Yeah,
What the hell is going on?
things have changed since last we spoke, dear viewer. Uh,
Holy cow!
oh, God. Where do we start? Or do we
I
start?
think we just start with match number one, to
I'm
be
okay with that.
perfectly honest, because there's just far too much going on
Yeah.
for us to be able to talk about. So we got Charles Mason versus Suwama. Is that what it?
Suwama. Yes.
Suwama.
The new era ace of All Japan Pro Wrestling.
I discovered Charles Mason through we getting sound on the I
I
don't
don't know.
hear
We should
anything
be. I
from
think
game.
I thought I fixed it, but I'm also not hearing it. Um,
We'll play some in the background until then.
yep. I'll work on that between matches.
Charles Mason, the root of all evil. And this guy is evil. I've watched his stuff. I discovered him in Jersey Championship Wrestling on a feed. Oh man, you want to talk about a heat magnet? This guy booed as soon as he entered the building. It was insane, and he knows what he's doing. I love him. I don't know much about Suwama though.
Suwama is he. We talked about Kento Miyahara a few weeks ago, as he's kind of the. Basically, Miyahara is the Okada to Suwama's Tanahashi.
Oh, okay.
Suwama's a 17-year pro. He's been, if not the top guy, he's been one of the top guys in All Japan. Most of those 17 years. He's held the Triple Crown 7 times.
Wow.
Including, he actually started the evaluation period, the July to June that PWI uses to evaluate the 500. He had the title all but 11 days of the evaluation period, and the only reason he lost it was he had to vacate it because he tested positive for COVID.
Okay.
But he's a multi-time tag team champion, including currently with, I think, Shuji Ishikawa is his partner at the moment, but that I don't have a note on, but I can find it easily enough. But yeah, he's a brawler, he's a powerhouse. He's one of those guys who's got a judo background. He was trained by Kaz Hayashi and Hiroshi Hase, so he's just got a championship pedigree going back.
The judo background was immediately coming into play as he's been tossing around Charles Mason.
Shotaro Ashino is his partner in his current reign. Apologies to
nice sweeping DDT.
They're definitely not.
I always love a good DDT variation.
Yeah. When I first saw, I think the Miz is the first one I ever saw do that kneeling, swinging DDT.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, nice.
That was like a Stan Hansen lariat from him earlier.
Miz, who will be, that's like
allegedly teaming with Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's like the 74th biggest news story to come out of this week. That the biggest draw in professional boxing may be working a match at WrestleMania.
This has been one of the most insane news story weeks.
Yeah.
In pro wrestling.
You don't really notice it so much until you're doing a weekly show where you talk about wrestling. How kind of consistently, there's like one or two big-ish stories every week. But this week, like our text thread this week, which is like every 6 hours.
This happened. This happened. This happened. This happened.
Madcap Moss is almost dead. Bobby Lashley's out of Mania. Ring of Honor. The Briscoes are going to work the return show for Ring of Honor, and they're going to the Hall of Fame. So Samoa Joe.
Cody Rhodes left AEW.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin may be wrestling a match at WrestleMania.
Jeez. The
Gorilla's
Observer Awards came out this week.
Gorilla's of Destiny got kicked out of the Bullet Club by Jay White.
Yep. And the Good Brothers are back in. Actually, I think we're going to see, we are in our second match today, we are going to see the fourth member of the Impact incarnation of Bullet Club, Chris Bay, is going to be in action later tonight. Josh Alexander is a free agent.
Yeah.
Jay White is in AEW and worked his first match on Friday.
Which was
Punk versus
fantastic.
MJF in a dog collar match was announced.
It's this is like just stories alone of what has been going on in general have been. There's been so much.
There's a new Iron Man heavy metalweight champion.
Oh, that's the biggest story for me.
Yeah. Ling Ling is the new Iron Man heavy metalweight champion. Oh man, another big lariat from Suwama. Actually, I guess I should check. I don't know if she's still the champion. Who knows what
That's
goes
true.
on.
I mean, at
As
one
of
point,
last night, when I finalized my notes for today's show, she was still the champion. Help me, Wikipedia. You're my only hope.
we've got champion versus champion at WrestleMania, it seems. Whether it will be title for title, I don't know. I hope it is. Because,
I hope
they tend to do that every now and then,
Yeah, but they're also, I'm sure they're going to split the titles again, because
Exactly.
You know Fox wants there to be a world title on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And you know Universal wants there to be a world title on Raw. So...
But they both want Brock Lesnar because he's the draw.
Right. Because nobody else gets over because they keep getting fed to Brock Lesnar every year. Oh, so I asked you a trivia question in the chat yesterday.
Yeah.
There have been 4... Ling Ling is still the champion. She's been champion for 6 days now, which is the longest reign since Toru Owashi had it for 8 days. There have been 4 Black WWE champions in history. We're not counting the world title or the Universal title, just the main WWE title that's been around since Buddy Rogers. The Rock, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Bobby Lashley.
Right.
Other than them all being black, what else do they have in common?
Not born in contiguous United States?
That might be true,
I don't know.
actually.
I think Bobby Lashley's from Minnesota now.
I think he's from, yeah. Okay, that's a very interesting guess. Probably would take you a while to get this one. All of them have lost that title to Brock Lesnar.
Oh, okay.
Lesnar has beat. That's just a weird one of those things. Like you know, it's like, oh, hey, he beat Big E and Lashley this year to win the title, and then you just kind of, who else did he beat for the title? It's like, oh, he beat The Rock for his first time
at SummerSlam against The Rock.
Yep.
After winning the King of the Ring, which allowed him to gain that number 1 contendership, like it should.
Like how you earn title shots, yeah.
Never understood what it's like. Xavier Woods, you are King Woods, and that's it. I mean, I'm happy that you're happy, but
yeah,
come on, man.
It feels like there's such a natural progression of, like, you win the Royal Rumble, you get the title shot at Mania. I feel like if you get, an impressive showing at Mania in a semi-main event, that should make you number 1 contender for a shot sometime in the summer.
Yeah.
Winning King of the Ring should make you number 1 contender for SummerSlam. Repeat for, an impressive showing at SummerSlam should get you the title shot at Survivor Series. And then just like
anything at Survivor Series, if you're like the last person standing at Survivor Series, you get the shot at Royal Rumble.
Yes.
And then you just
and then lather, rinse, repeat.
Number 1 contenderships.
It's really not hard. You have basically a quarter to build a contender for the next major event.
But that would be all implying that WWE knows how to book.
That no one has any idea
like
what they want to do. Suwama wins it with the Boston Crab. 15 minutes, 18 seconds. And that's not terribly surprising, considering Suwama is number 18 seed in our tournament, and Mr. Mason is 495. But we haven't had a ton of submission.
We apologize if we're a little thrown off by our broadcast today, but it's just everything that has been going on in wrestling has just really thrown us for a loop.
Yeah, it's hard, when you only have so much time to talk about stuff, trying to cram everything in while also calling matches. It's a struggle.
It's literally, I think, obviously, the biggest story being Cody Rhodes leaving.
It's got to be the Cody story, yeah.
It's absolutely. And more than likely, it seems he's going to WWE for a big old fat contract.
I hope so. If he's going, I hope he's getting paid for it.
Yeah, and
obviously he would get paid for it.
But the real question is how are they going to be treating him once he gets there? What Cody Rhodes are we going to get? What will he be? Will he be able to talk about anything, acknowledge his past, or whatever the case may be for him in general? So it's just where'd I go?
Anyway.
But yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Oh, jeez, man, I am just disappearing left and right.
But think about it. It would be like
there we go. Here I am.
It would be like if in 2005 Jeff Jarrett showed up. On Raw or SmackDown.
I guess, but not.
But
no
bigger
no
scale.
Discredit to Jeff Jarrett. I mean,
but it's in the same vein of it's a former WWE mid-card who left, started his own promotion, had some not great things to say about WWE while he was away, and now 2-3 years later is back. That's the parallel. Cody is a much bigger star than Jarrett ever was or will be.
I mean, no offense to Jeff Jarrett.
No offense to Double Jarrett.
Career, but you just can look at the numbers,
Yeah.
and they spell disaster. I can't help it every time.
You see, when you're drawing 1.1 million viewers every week, you got a 50. This one is going to be exciting as hell. Chris Bay and Arrow Boy are going to try and steal the show.
Not to be confused with Arrow Star.
Not to be confused with Arrow Star. He is a 17-year veteran. Well, you know what? We got so distracted talking, I didn't try and fix the audio, so that's my bad.
Let's find out some more about Arrow Boy.
Arrow Boy is another 17-year pro. He bounces around. He was number one contender for the IWA Mid-South title. He's kind of he reminds me a little of Super Crazy. In that he's got the traditional lucha background, but he also just excels in deathmatch environments. He actually competed in the King of the Deathmatch tournament and the Nick Gage Invitational. Didn't win either, was eliminated early in both. But yeah, I mean, he worked for something like 20 promotions during the evaluation period. Just like I said, kind of a traditional high flyer, but also, hardcore. He's got a killer Canadian destroyer. I mean, everybody does at this point.
Yeah.
But he is,
by the way, shout out to Dax Harwood.
Dax Harwood.
Giving us a shout out
on that, Mr. Harwood. I miscalled that. That was not a destroyer. That was
listen, I saw the move. I saw the move. I'll call it like I see it. I'm sorry, Dax the Axe, but that's what happened. You can watch the replay.
That's right. It's on our YouTube channel.
It's available on demand and for free. Unless some kind network wants to buy us out.
Yeah.
Unlike any others, we are willing to sell out.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, lung blower from Bay there.
Chris Bay, one of the most no one saw Chris Bay joining Bullet Club at all. But when Jay White showed up in Impact Wrestling, he saw potential in him, and Chris Bay was kind of a man alone on an island of his own, and Jay White said, "Come on and join the pack."
Yeah, and it's worked out pretty well for him. As a former X Division champion in 2020 during the evaluation period, beat Willie Mack to win it, which is no small feat.
Oh,
another fall away back body drop there by Arrow Boy. But no, by Bay. That Charlotte joke. But yeah, last night at was it No Surrender?
Yep.
Bay and White and the Good Brothers stood tall over Tama Tonga and Tongaloa.
It was a great show, by the way. I really hope people should check it out. I caught some clips. I'm going to watch the replay later today. The X Division match, everybody was talking about how amazing Trey Miguel what performed in that. The women's six-person tag, the X Division number 1 contendership. There was also Jonah versus Black Towers. Eric Young versus Jay White was pretty hard hitting. They had the ROH Women's World Champion and AAA Reina de Reinas Campeón Diana Perazzo in a double champion match, defending her titles. She retained, and the digital media champion and NWA World's Heavyweight Champion Matt Cardona, I almost forgot about that one, defended his digital media championship. Matt Cardona is the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Matt Cardona is the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
I mean...
Brett Major is now the NWA World Champion.
The former Zack Ryder. Like, I give all credit to that guy. He has earned every bit of credibility that he has been working hard to really show off. But man, no one saw that coming. God, like, what a time. What a time right now. This is crazy. But yes, please check out No Surrender.
Splash there from, or I guess is it a Firebird splash if it's got the inversion in it? Either way, Arrow Boy.
Big old splash. Arrow Boy gonna fly. But now looks like Chris Bay's gonna fly.
Chris Bay with a double stomp.
Bay is Bay.
He is dashing. The ultimate finesser.
Oh, I guess that was a Phoenix Splash.
I think that's a Phoenix Splash. I think Firebird is when it's just a straight.
Ooh, missed the cutter.
That might have been enough, but they had it scouted.
By the way, the ultimate Legend Killer move will be when Randy Orton gives himself an RKO. That'll be the only way that happens.
The Destroyer.
And I've been actually trying to figure out how would someone give themselves the RKO. Like, he'd have to like hold himself by the neck and then throw himself head forward. Like,
I guess, yeah.
Oh, that was a big burning hammer there.
Springboard cross body there from Arrow Boy.
Going for the submission. He's got a cloverleaf.
Yeah, the old Eddie Guerrero lasso from El Paso.
Oh yeah.
Bay gets into the ropes.
I saw a moonsault from Laredo Kid online recently. That was just like picture perfect, and just the talent that comes out of AAA is just amazing.
Yeah, I've never not been impressed by a Laredo Kid either.
Oh yeah, I mean,
a moment or a match.
Check his stuff out. 205 Live is no more. It is NXT Level Up. Is that what they call it now?
I believe that is what they're calling
So
it.
NXT now has 2 shows.
2.0 has 2 shows. They didn't have 2 shows when they had, Gargano and Balor and
the black and gold days
Alpha
are
Academy.
long gone, man.
Not Alpha Academy, American Alpha. Yeah. Now it's twice the Tony D'Angelo.
Actually, I think like the Level Up is oddly enough the developmental show of the developmental show.
God. So they just put up a camera in the performance center and watch Jason Albert yell at people.
It's like the Sunday Night Heat or the Jacked or the Metal or the Shotgun Saturday Night or
Velocity.
any of those other like syndicated dark match shows.
Was it Livewire? Was that the live call-in
Livewire was
show?
the Saturday morning recap.
What was the one where Todd Pettengill took live calls?
Yeah, that's what it started as, I think.
Oh, okay, and then it just turned into Gotcha.
Yeah, and then Shane McMahon hosted, and then
Marissa,
then Shane McMahon's
whatever.
wife hosted. The heiress to an olive oil company.
Yeah.
Oh, went for a Tiger Driver.
Maybe not.
I think it was. I
We
forget
don't
what
want
it
to
was.
know.
She's heiress to some company. Going for the Tiger Driver again.
There's a big
No.
wheel down at the Cracker Factory. I don't recall saying good luck. Arrow boy to the top rope.
Those of you
Ooh,
keeping score, very nice.
top rope code breaker from Arrow Boy. See, I told you these guys were going to put on a show. Michinoku Driver.
Right in the center of the ring.
3, yep, right
There
on the
it is.
logo. A nice big upset here early on in the show. Arrow Boy number 419 over number 94, Chris Bay.
Congrats to Arrow Boy. Official.
Yes. Only an 82% according to Fire Pro. Hard disagree. That was a lot of fun. Let me
Bay,
play around with the
I
audio setting a
apologize.
little
I'm
bit.
sorry. I know that we can't have your guys with you, and I'm not saying that they would have helped you, but
You're not saying it.
I'm not saying it. I don't know how to spell Michinoku properly.
Michinoku.
Inoku. Hey, I did it right. All right, let's move on to match.
Give me 1 sec to try and fix the audio.
Oh, right.
So,
But
I
match
had it
number
the other
3.
day.
We've got
That's
Brody King versus Travis Huckabee. And Brody King, one half of the Kings of the Black Throne of the House of Black, which is and at one point I think they had put on the Chiron Knights of the Black Throne. Nobody knows what their tag team name is in AEW right now.
They're bad men.
Oh yeah, but they're a great tag team. It is so nice to see Malachi Black feeling how he's got some renewed vigor inside of his performance while he's tag teaming with Brody King. They just look awesome. Their entrance is awesome. It's intimidating. I love it. Love it. Speaking of AEW, I think the only real kind of mentions of Cody were with somewhat of a tribute with the main event on Dynamite this past week, with some moves that Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin were using, similar to Cody. But other than that,
they mentioned the matches with Brody when they were talking about the dog collar match.
But other than that, no goodbye, no nothing, just business as usual. And to be honest, fair play to them. I guess that's how it had to be.
Yeah. I do wonder if it will come into play if they're holding off on it until Kenny gets back. And it's going to be part of his story with the Bucks.
Well, Kenny wants Jay White.
And Jay White.
He wants that rematch.
Yeah. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see more Cody references then. Like, I go for, X number of months, and while I'm gone, you people, you run off Cody, you bring in Switchblade.
Yeah, if Kenny comes back, I mean, he'll probably still be pissed that the Bucks kind of let him lose.
Yeah.
And if you notice, the Bucks were kind of like, no, we don't mess with Hangman anymore. He's old news, which was kind of like a weird, like a slick way of being like, we respect the dude. We're not gonna mess with him.
Yeah.
But Travis Huckabee, the Golden Grappler.
Golden Grappler, New Jersey's own.
I love the representation in the PWS. Listen. Great wrestlers can come from the South, from the West Coast, but you have no idea the plethora of talent. Would you say that I have a plethora?
Plethora? There's a veritable cornucopia of talent. That's a reference that I'm not getting. I know I've.
You know the movie.
From?
Three Amigos.
I know it. As soon as you said plethora, I heard the quote in my head, but I can't.
The Three Amigos.
There it is. Yep. Like yeah. Was that a right
anytime I've used that word, it's just like, would you say I have a plethora?
Was that an Ivan Reitman movie?
I think so.
I can't remember who directed that.
I mean,
Ivan Reitman, more news.
The
late great.
He will be missed. It's a little choppy at the moment.
Yeah. Can we try without the BGM for a second and see?
Yeah, let's see if maybe that's eating up some bandwidth.
No, we're still not getting the audio. I swear I switched that monitor over.
We've got stop motion wrestling going on at the moment.
Yeah. Welcome to Tim Burton's. Actually, I guess at this point it's more of a Wes Anderson has kind of taken that on as his thing. It seems to be a little better, doesn't it?
No stream is ever going to be perfect. We do our best.
That's right.
Maybe it's just that they're hitting so hard that they're eating up our bandwidth.
That may be. Just the groans of pain are drowning out the music. At least we're not getting the Super Nintendo and Genesis wrestling game. That strangling animation they all had.
Yeah. They released some stuff for 2K22. It looks okay. Did he just reverse the powerbomb into
a triangle?
Triangle hole?
That's what it looked like to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
He was able to break out.
That can't have sat well with Van Nuys, California's Brody King.
Former or still PWG Tag Team Champ?
Still PWG Tag Team Champ. The Kings of the Knights of the whatever they're calling themselves.
Kings of the Black Throne.
Kings of the Black Throne is what they are in PWG. Whatever they're calling themselves.
Yeah, I think they're still kings.
Okay.
Because Brody King, Malachi Black.
Right.
It works out.
They both
I love the toss into the suplex that they do as their finisher.
Yes.
Oh, that's like just some kind of like reverse bulldog choke or in a weird way. Like it was just grounded. Oh, went for the splash, but
splash in the corner. Huckabee had it scouted.
What do we know about Travis Huckabee?
He's a former Chikara Tag Team Champion. Was there in the
Campeones de Parejas.
Yes. He was trained at the Wrestle Factory, so he's got that.
Here we go. Yeah, now it's moved out a bit more.
I mean, he's your favorite. He's a techniker. But yeah, he appeared on like a dozen episodes of the Camp Leapfrog series on IWTV, which if you've not checked out, guys, you really ought to check out Camp Leapfrog.
I just subscribed to it.
It's literally, Camp Leapfrog is literally summer camp for wrestling.
It's great.
It's very much, it feels like Chikara, just without all the the weird sex stuff. But it's
alleged.
It's alleged.
You have to say that.
There's but yeah, I mean the whole thing takes place at a summer camp, and just like the activities that they get into lead into the matches, and
it's a great gimmick.
So it's so funny. It's so good.
It's good old family entertainment.
Yes. Yeah, and it feels like it was a nice kind of point of recovery from the Chikara fallout. Oh gosh, I don't even know what to call that from Huckabee. Looked like King was setting him up for like a muscle buster, but he rolled through it into a choke.
That is pretty. You want to talk about a technical wrestler right there? That is absolutely the summation of anybody who can break out of any move to put into a submission. I mean, like Serena Deeb has been proving that as her Professor 5-minute challenge, which has been great, by the way.
Yeah, I love it. Serena's got a new lease on life, and it's fantastic to watch.
I am a dweeb for Deeb.
She's so good at everything.
She is the Bret Hart of AEW.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say the female Bret Hart. She is the Bret Hart of AEW.
She's who you send out there if you need a solid match. Doesn't necessarily have to be part of the guillotine choke there from Huckabee. When it doesn't necessarily need to be, main event level, although Bret frequently was. But you need a good undercard match with a Mr. Perfect or a British Bulldog or at the first show I ever saw live, Jean-Pierre Lafitte. Yes, the one and only Bret Hart match I ever saw live was against Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
Yeah, and of course there's the infamous God, now I can't remember the guy's name who put on a better match with Bret Hart than Vince expected, and he was pissed. Oh God. God, I can't remember.
About what's the time frame?
In the 90s.
In the 90s, like during peak Bret, or like when he was on the come on?
Like his name was Tom. Tom McGee. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Tom McGee match. Yeah, that's one of those that the forgotten Bret classics. Like,
yeah,
hey, I'm gonna work a match with this guy. Like, no. You're gonna squash him. No, I'll work a match. Let's see what Tom can do.
Like Infamous, he was a power lifter. He had a great look about him. Like, there's an entire Wikipedia article about Bret Hart versus Tom McGee.
Oh my gosh, shoulder-mounted power bomb from. Yep, that'll do it.
And the thing is, Vince thought McGee could be the next Hogan. And then you can't find the match anywhere. It was on a WWF Wrestling Challenge. But Brody Lee, our victor.
No.
Brody King. Excuse me. Sorry, Brody King. I apologize.
Yeah, I didn't catch it, so. But somebody probably did. So. But yeah, Brody King moved on.
Condolences to virtual Travis Huckabee. Hopefully your back gets better.
that Gonzo bomb is legit. That's a scary finish. So yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about scary finishes? Madcap Moss almost getting his neck broken. He's fine. Turns out he's fine. But a reverse Alabama Slam is not a move that should exist, in my opinion. There's no way to take that butt head first.
Yeah.
And he took it. He took it far.
He took it head first.
Oh God! If you're squeamish, I would not recommend it. Looking at it,
it's a little easier to watch knowing that he's okay.
Yes.
But
at the time, I was like, the hell?
Yeah. Good on Baron Corbin for noticing like immediately that something was wrong.
Yeah.
And getting him out of the ring and taking the focus.
And then, in the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and this is saying a lot for WWE.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre swung a sword at Baron Corbin's head.
Uh-huh.
Now, despite the fact of the location that they were in, you can't, like, first of all, the fact that he has a sword, the only way he would be able to use it as a weapon is to literally kill someone. It's a sword. It's a sword. It is a long sword. If this was D&D, this would be a veritable weapon that could kill a troll. And it was... But he legit, like, whoosh. And I thought, oh my god. And even Baron Corbin is yelling, he could have cut my head off! And, like, I think he was legit, like, scared at that point.
I would be.
But, oh my god. But anyway, the controversies aside of just continually doing shows in that particular area, I mean, stuff happens on that show, and they lead into it has now become, unfortunately, a staple of WWE's programming. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, folks, and you have to you have to take into consideration all of the things that the way that country is run, and then see that just, you know, WWE just accepting the money and flying people out there to do stuff that wasn't going to happen.
How much did they pay the Usos and the Viking Raiders for that angle?
And apparently that is what was intended to happen. It wasn't like the match got cut for time. No, like legit, like that's how it was meant to be booked. If I was either of them, I would be so mad. Like, just to be like, I didn't have to be here. We could have done this angle on SmackDown and just said, oh, they got beat up so hard that they couldn't make the trip. Like, what is the... They can't... This company can't book. They can't. No.
Nope. Yeah. I'm going to share the screen real quick. Can you... Are you getting the music now?
No.
It's real loud in my headphones.
It's so weird. So, I mean, if it's for you, then it's probably playing out in the stream. So it might not be. It might be a me thing. I can actually check our Twitch stream right now and see.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it back on. I don't know if it's just like I'm monitoring it so it's loud, or if it's.
I'm watching myself, and this is weird.
You getting anything?
It's monitoring you, it seems. So.
Okay. Hey, Yo O'Neill, just in time.
Just in time to see us go through all our technical difficulties.
Well, yeah, just in time for that, but also just in time for your match with Scorpio Sky.
Yeah.
That's got impeccable timing.
So yeah, we're just gonna go for it anyway.
Let's just do it. I'm gonna go. We'll go full screen on this. Professional show business.
Here we go.
Oops.
Oh.
Both at the same time.
Now we go.
All right. Our fourth match of the day. Winner will face Cara Noir in round 2. Our referee is going to be Ryohei Nakatani from Big Japan Wrestling.
Neil O'Neill, have you ever faced off against Scorpio Sky in the ring before?
Until our new friend Bobby Batson uploaded this edit of Eel, I had been playing around with trying to create my own and it didn't come out nearly this good. But it did mean I watched a lot of Eel O'Neill matches on IWTV and loved it. Eel is now one of my favorite indie wrestlers, and I'm not just saying that because I know he's watching.
This is the first time we've actually had one of the participants.
I'm sorry, the game is real loud in my ears, so I'm going to... 1 second here.
This is one of the first times we've actually had one of the participants in the match show up.
Yeah.
Oh, you trained with him at the LA Dojo. Very cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, what was he like as a trainer? It's very cool to be actually talking to one of the talents in the in the match as it's going on.
We had Alex Kane pop in last week at Don't Die Miles way back in episode 1. It's awesome. I love that
Dax Shepard, Jesus Christ, Dax Harwood.
Dax Harwood, yeah.
Dax Harwood giving us heat.
Yeah.
Listen, I saw the footage, man. You got,
We were here live last week.
Very nice, man. Very informative. Yeah, that's cool, man. We apologize. We're a little all over the place with our stuff. I think it's because our computer jacked as all hell. It's Scorpio's got probably some of the best conditioning. Of course, unlike his partner, who I'm sorry. I laughed so hard when the first time I heard him say, "The tightest tits in the game." I popped so much for that one line. God.
Oh my God.
But
belly to belly, and Eel goes to the floor, but
you just got tossed out the hell of the ring, man.
Eel O'Neill is a man. He's just gonna bounce right back.
He just ran right back in.
Yep.
Eel O'Neill, you've got the advantage right now because you know a little bit about how Scorpio Sky works.
That's right. And now the student shall become the master. Ooh,
interesting roll up there. Yeah. It's always fun to me, like, to see if any of the movesets match the actual wrestlers. So if any of you guys see a move that you want to steal, put it into your repertoire.
Oh, see from Scorp. See, I was gonna go through some of the matches that you had last year, or during that July to June evaluation period that PWI uses for the 500. But do you want me to skip over that the loser eats dog food match? I know that was
roll up pin out of nowhere.
Probably not one of your favorites.
A small blemish on the career.
Yeah.
Loser eats dog food match. That reminds me of like a game my friends and I used to play called the Terry Funk match, where it was just like, I'm gonna be in Louisiana for a loser. Loser gets a discount at the Cracker Barrel match. And you just like come up with the most ridiculous stipulation.
I'm trying to find a way to turn that into a my eye joke, but it's
forever.
It's not
forever.
Armbar from Eel.
Move number 1002.
Yes, armbar. Nice roll up from Scorp. Nice veteran move there from the face of the revolution. Another big bit
I like that he
this
acknowledged that it looked like a Sonic ring the last time he cut a promo about that match. Speaking of that match, it is a beefy boy lineup so far.
I imagine former WWE champion Big E is very excited about that. There's a lot of meat slapping going on in that match. Yeah, we got Keith Lee, Wardlow, and Powerhouse Hobbs in a ladder match.
Good lord.
Yeah.
You are holding your own here, but what's going on? Do I get to call
Cornea over the top.
Ooh.
onto the floor. That guy in the corner with the striped shirt is loving it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's in the time of his life right now. Side Russian leg sweep on the floor, but Scorp kind of forgot for a second that, that hurts me too.
Yeah, we do have a 20 count here in PWS, as we try to incorporate a lot of different international rules and styles, and also it's a great feature on Fire Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's also another thing I can turn off in Fire Pro. So, but we'd say it gives it an international play, but we have a large Japanese contingent in this tournament, so
it's very true.
Like we saw earlier with Suwama beating Charles Mason. Russian leg sweep from Scorpio. Nice back and forth match here.
This has been very good. This has been very, very good.
Scorp's the number 113 seed in the tournament, while Io is number 400.
Oh, just clean 4-0-0.
Yep, nice round number. Scorp, of course, does not have Ethan Page or Dan Lambert or Paige Van Sant or any of the other.
To be fair, that's good.
Yeah. But it also means that Eel doesn't have, Jordan Blade or Miles Millennium or Big Dust or Killian McMurphy or any of the other people that he's teamed with.
You're still alive. I'm amazed. Hey, man, you're holding your own in this match.
Yeah. Nice
super kick.
Trading super kick.
And a return super kick. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Rolling armbar.
Oh, I thought he called it. I swore.
I thought he did too, but I think he must have been in the ropes.
I almost pulled a Bob Murphy there with the Mets call. Agbayani goes back, and it's a home run. Oh, he caught it. Probably my favorite baseball call of all time.
I still enjoy the shoot, I'm blanking on who it was. The ESPN's top basketball play-by-play guy was calling a baseball game for ESPN, and
that was a mistake.
And while he was calling the game, he was also watching another game. It was like a trying to get into the playoffs kind of situation, so they were keeping an eye on another game.
What was that? Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? Like a cradle DDT, like suplex of sorts? Like it looked like he had. It was just cool. Oh, big super kick though into a leg drop.
And another.
All our matches have been going on the average about the amount of this time.
Yeah. This. We've had 15, 16, and 13. So this has passed the Brody and Huckabee match to be number 3. And in
big forearm
13
strikes.
seconds, it'll pass the Suwama match. But anyway, he was calling one game, and something important happened in the other, and he was like calling it live, and the announcer's like, "Which game are you calling?" He's like, "I'm calling both games." So I think that's my favorite.
Scorpio was able to get out of your finish, man. I hope we'll see if. Oh, that doesn't look like it's gonna help. What is going on here?
Spinning heel kick to the back of the head.
Didn't quite get all of that. Not quite sure why he didn't just go for the cover.
Oh.
Look at this!
Nice roll through into the armbar again. Scorp trying to get that other hand across to break it up.
Oh, I thought he was going to get him. He was slowly getting to the ropes on that point. Snap suplex up to the top rope. Big frog splash. Ooh, that hurt him.
High fly flow style. Low down. And there's the TKO from Scorp. That's probably it.
Into
the bridge cover. 2, 3. Oh, man. That was
there you go.
Match.
The veteran Scorpio Sky. Sorry, Eel O'Neill. We appreciate you being here. Better luck next time. But truly appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah.
And this is so cool to come on, Eli. We appreciate you spreading the word too. You were so close. You were close, man. You were close. You were very close. But best of luck to you in future matches.
So
feel free to thank you for the tag as well. And anytime you want to stop by and check out other stuff, you feel free, man. We appreciate it.
And hey, if you want to stick around and watch the remaining 6 matches of the show, you're more than welcome to do that too. You got an insight to offer on Yuki Ueno or Slice Boogie?
Yeah, we got one more before we go to our halftime. I'm just making sure I update our Twitter feed with the winners. And there we go. So now we've got our end of the first half match. I'm having a little trouble wondering what how quite to say this name.
Yuki Ueno.
Yeah.
From DDT Pro Wrestling, the home of the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship, our favorite title in pro wrestling.
That's true. That's true. It is probably our absolute favorite match or title. And if we're able to ever find a way to like virtually do our own match, if DDT will allow us to have one of our avatars be a legit contender, it would be an honor. That would be an absolute honor.
Even if we just had like a match in the tournament count as a recognized title change.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even have to be one of our avatars, but like, you know, let's say Yuki Ueno has the title and he loses this match to Slice Boogie. Have Slice Boogie be a recognized
you know what? We should contact DDT. Like, we should let them know.
They might be up for that.
Because if they're currently the champion and Slice Boogie wins,
they're not. But in
I'm just saying if someone on our show is currently that champion and they get defeated, I mean, I feel like it's much as a legit championship change that should be recognized. I mean, if 1 million subscribers on YouTube can become champion, anything's possible.
That's very true. That was Slice Boogie. It's got the old LAX logo because I couldn't find one for 5150 specifically. But yeah, Slice Boogie, one half of the MLW World Tag Team Champions. Only a 3-year pro.
No kidding.
Actually, Ueno is only a 6-year pro. Got a couple of, I was going to say Young Bucks in this one, but no, neither of the Jackson brothers. But yeah, Slice Boogie actually spent most of the evaluation period for the 2021 list in NWA, only kind of jumping to MLW toward the end of the year. So his number 370 rank, I think, is going to go up real big this year. Slice is definitely a guy on the rise. Putting him with Danny Rivera and Julius Smokes has just done wonders for Slice over the last year. Oh, you were frozen there for a second.
No, I'm here. I'm just trying to update our all our feeds going on. Plus,
when we're the only
I
two
had to
people.
add heavy metal weight to my dictionary on on my computer.
That's just going to take up a whole bunch of characters in a tweet. But yeah, so we were talking about that title specifically. So this all happened on Monday. Toru Owashi came into the DDT Free February Ultimate Tag League 2022 in Shinjuku event as the defending champion. And it went into, he was defending it in what was called a 5-way 2-minute time limit scramble, which basically meant it was Owashi versus Antonio Honda versus Danshoku Dino, who is like the Bruno Sammartino of the heavy metalweight title, versus Masahiro Takanashi versus Shunma Katsumata. So it was those 5 guys, with the rules being, if anybody could hold the title, it was basically like the championship scrambles WWE.
Yeah.
If you could hold the title for 2 straight minutes, you would get to leave as the champion.
It's like how Brian Kendrick was WWE champion for like a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Except in this case, they actually counted every title change.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No like interim title. This was all actual. So Owashi was on his 27th reign when he came in. Lost within 2 minutes to Antonio Honda, who then lost it to Dino, who then lost it to Takanashi, who then lost it to Owashi, who lost it to Honda, who lost it to Dino, who lost it to Takanashi, who had a foot massage mat fall on him and pinned him to win the title. Then Honda pinned the foot massage mat. Then Owashi pinned Honda. Takanashi pinned Owashi. Katsumoto won it. Dino won it. Honda won it again and held it for 2 minutes. So he won the gauntlet. After the match, Ling Ling, who is a member of a pop idol band called Bish, Ling Ling shook Honda's hand, and in doing so broke it and was declared the new champion. So,
my God.
So Ling Ling, by virtue of crushing Antonio Honda's hand in a handshake after surviving that gauntlet match, Ling Ling is your reigning and defending Iron Man heavy metalweight champion.
It's my favorite belt of all time.
It's just so good.
It's absolutely my favorite. You know what is great about it? We are absolutely, you and I personally, are contenders for this belt.
Yeah, we've held it.
If we had the ability to win it, apparently, like, even just doing this stream could get us, you know. I could just like do one of these, like,
Yeah, so
technically, since I am on top right now, I'm pinning you.
That's true. That's true. If I roll over or if I turn around, can't pin my back. But there have been 391.
I don't think that's been an issue, though. If she broke his hand to become champion, I don't think you having to do anything.
Fair. So this is direct. I'm just going to read this directly from Wikipedia. There have been 1,545 officially recognized reigns between 391 different human individuals, 7 teams, and 43 inanimate objects and animals. The record for most reigns is held by Shinobu, who won it 216 times, including trading the title back and forth with 215-time champion Yuko Miyamoto, a total of 303 times on the same night. Danshoku Dino holds the record for longest combined reign with at least 448 days and counting. The exact date of when he won his 10th title is uncertain. Masa Takanashi's 6th reign is the longest single reign at 333 days. Only 142 individuals have held the title for more than a day. It's occasionally been won by unusual means, such as an auction, rock, paper, scissors, and even a title change that occurred in a dream. On February 6, 2022, DDT Pro Wrestling hit the 100,000 YouTube subscriber milestone, and the tablet which showed the moment pinned former champion Mao, so all the 100,000 subscribers were considered champions. Non-wrestlers to have held the title include AV idol Nao Saejima, TV personality Liliko, J-pop idols Akari Suda, Kaori Matsumura, Yuki Arai, Rise Shirakawa, Aika Sawaguchi, Misaki Natsumi, and Momoni Wagatsuma, a cat, a monkey, a ladder, Vince McMahon's Hollywood Walk of Fame star, and the title belt itself.
Wait, the title belt was the champion.
Won itself, yes. One team, the Young Bucks, have won the title, and their autobiography also won the title.
They broke the business with breaking the business.
Right. The title has only been around, only 21 years, but there have been 1,500 different title reigns.
Amazing. It may be the most prestigious championship in professional wrestling.
It might be. It might be indeed. The Invisible Man actually held it for 6 days.
How did anybody know?
the Big Japan Ring Truck held it. Set of disposable chopsticks.
Okay. I feel bad that we're doing this because this is a really good match.
This is a fun match. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. We can just anytime DDT comes up, I'm compelled to go to the Wikipedia page for the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship.
Yeah, Slice Boogie, by the way, I've been loving putting on great matches in Major League Wrestling. The tag team division there is just phenomenal. Actually, I love that it's legit divisions. Like fighting divisions with the middleweight, the open weight, our heavyweight tag team, very much like a major league sport.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought? And it's very well done. And plus, seeing anytime I get to see Dario Cueto, I'm sorry, Cesar Duran. He's just he's phenomenal because he loves violence.
He just wants his temple back.
He's made many an arena his temple.
That's true. That is true. He's just no longer in Boyle Heights.
No.
Backslide from Ueno.
Well, that was like a deal with the devil, apparently.
Wins it with the
backslide pin gets the win over Slice Boogie.
Ueno moves on to the second round. Multitasking as well here. Over 370 Slice. iPro's not being super kind with these match ratings today. Only
that's interesting.
So far, we've only had one match over 90%, and usually we average between 91 and 93. But so far, we've been between 82 and 91. I definitely feel like these have been really good matches.
Well, it's halftime, folks, and we are going to take 5 minutes. And we might be able to fix up some things. I know my own camera's been going, and Pat, you're kind of been fading in and out, like Back to the Future style.
I need to go back in time. I think my parents maybe didn't meet. So I'm gonna work on that. I'm also gonna try again to figure out how I can get, because it was blaring in my headset, but for whatever reason was not coming across on the screen. So we'll work on that during the halftime. We'll make it work. And then when we come back.
So folks, stick around. We will be back in Hey!
We're back.
Oh, yeah. Real life
cool
comes
was
into
that?
play sometimes.
Yes, it does. But how cool was that we got to chat with Yul O'Neal there for a little bit?
Absolutely.
Before the break.
That was so
He's
cool.
A cool guy, Yul O'Neal. You guys, I'm dead serious. If you have, this isn't me blowing smoke because he was a guest on the show. Like, I have been watching a lot of Yul O'Neal matches lately because of this show, and he's one to watch. He's really fun in the ring.
Top prospect.
Absolutely. Big things in Yul O'Neal's future. And hey,
All right,
speaking
well,
of
while
big
I'm doing
things,
this, I'll have you control. You got control over graphics and stuff too, so.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of big things, oops, that's not the button I meant to press. That wasn't full screen.
We have one of the scariest competitors in MLW coming up.
Yeah. I would say maybe even beyond MLW. Just one of the scariest dudes in wrestling. First, we'll get a look at Las Vegas's own Jody himself, formerly Jody the Wrestler. Worked pretty much all the indies over the year evaluation period.
I think Jody himself should team with Jake something.
I agree. I think that would be a good team.
Just
and maybe
like
with a very good professional wrestler as well.
Avery Good. Yeah. And just call them the Vague Squad.
They are the staple.
The stable or the group.
The group, yes. A loose assortment of friends.
The acquaintances.
Frank Got Sushi is our referee here, and that's Mads Kruger, formerly of Contra Unit, possibly still of Contra Unit. It's unclear.
I think he has taken control of Contra, to be perfectly honest.
Gotta wonder if, based on last week's show, if there is still room for Ikaro Kwan in Contra after Fatu just obliterated him.
He was at one point. He was the Dynasty's bodyguard.
Yep.
Back when he was known as Grogan. But then he came back as the Black Hand of Contra.
He's actually listed in the PWI 500 as Logan Creed, which is another gimmick he worked, but has, for the most part, has moved completely into the Mods persona since he's become more.
He has embraced it. He is fully engulfed.
And he's a beast. He's 6'8", 317 pounds.
Good
just
Lord.
A monster of a man. Yeah, I mean, and he has a victory, a victory on his record from the IW Parade of Champions against Alexander Hammerstone.
Alexander Hammerstone.
He has beaten Hammerstone. So once he's finished his feud with Fatu.
Oh, he wants to end Jake.
Hammer might be next. But
Hammerstone's got his own. He's got his own problems with his former tag team partner.
Yeah.
Betrayed him.
The Jezebel Alicia Atus.
I hate that word.
I do too.
I just hate. It's no offense to JR, but like, here's a burrow.
There are so many words that JR was over reliant on in the '90s that I just hate the sound of. That's one of them. Sophomoric is another one.
We got to kind of move on from thinking that women are just objects, the stuff to be fought over in wrestling.
Yeah. Yes.
It was resounding yes.
So yeah. There's really nothing else to add to that. Alicia Atout was technically the one that attacked Hammer, but it was clearly a result of her and
she is complicit in the betrayal. There's no question.
Yes. Well, she's more than complicit. She was active in it.
Yeah, she was absolutely
But yeah, it's clearly like
both of them have a problem with Hammerstone.
Yes.
And they felt that he was overshadowing them.
Yes.
I mean, he is the champ, so.
Yeah, as one does. And
again,
to
take the other side, like Hammerstone was kind of like saying like, "Oh, don't worry, I got you covered. And he's just letting his partner getting beat up in alleys and letting the Azteca Underground have their way with him, basically.
Yeah.
And
Got
not
a crap
preparing
beat out
him
of
at
him by
all.
Pagano a couple weeks ago.
My God, that was just bloody beatdowns. So yeah, he has some cause.
Oh yeah.
But can we talk about Mads Kruger versus when him and Fatu finally butted heads in that cage? That moment was so like it was bound to happen, and everybody was waiting for it. And when it finally did, explosion of in the crowd.
It's amazing how good wrestling can be when you take your time with it.
Yeah, and you just do it simple.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. There's somebody I used to listen to who says it's not hard to book WWE, and to be honest, it's just you could say that about like I know that we are fans that if anything we're just fans who happen to have some experience with indie wrestling for a time. I have had the privilege of being around great bookers and learning a thing or two about it. I've been exposed to how wrestling works, having managed and worked with wrestlers. I don't necessarily think I have it, within me to book a show long term, like a weekly episodic show. But I do know, as Harley Race would say, the fundamentals of what it takes to put an angle together, and it's really not that hard when you just let the story speak for itself. It all comes down to when two competitors hate each other so much that they have to settle it in the ring. It can only escalate each time with stipulation until there is just one final way to do it where there's neither has an advantage on each other, or it's just one solid, undisputed defeat.
Yep.
Where the other just has to realize time to move on.
Yep. One of the worst things that has happened, I was going to say in modern booking, but really it started about 30 years ago, was the emergence of the swerve.
Oh, yeah.
For a century, wrestling was booked as hero versus villain. Villain gets, the early advantage in the feud, either cheats to win or costs the hero a match against another villain. Hero wants to get their hands on the villain. Villain throws obstacles in their way until eventually there's no more running. Hero gets his hands on the villain. Hero beats the villain. Moves on to the next villain.
Yeah.
Very easy booking.
Tried and true. Always works.
It worked for Bruno. It worked for Backlund. It worked for Hogan. It worked for Savage.
Oh, there's that spike.
Oh my God, that's gotta be it. No, Jody himself kicks out of the spike.
Apparently his heart is no longer broken.
That's right. That must have restarted it. It's the defibrillator spike there.
Viscous clothesline.
Jody himself was woken up by that spike.
Into a shoulder breaker. And Mads Kruger is not a easy pickup in terms of
No.
throwing around.
6'8", 317.
Good Lord.
So Jody is turning on the Jets. 2, 3, 4,
Jody and
5.
the Jets. Sometimes we just make stupid jokes for each other, folks.
We got pink and black boots. Ain't wear no suit. He's ranking the PWI magazine.
I knew you were going to get there eventually.
Spike.
Oh, man. I've seen that, like, the Tongan spike, the Samoan spike. The Kruger spike is probably just good enough for him.
Kruger's breathing so heavily you can see it through his mask.
There are many a masked wrestler who have struck fear into the hearts of pro wrestling fans. Lately, I would say Mads Kruger has been doing such a good job of just proving how much of a dominant force he is.
Yeah.
And, like, when's the last time you legit got, like, scared by a wrestler when you saw them in the ring? For me, it was probably seeing Abyss versus Rhino in a hardcore match, and then almost knocking me and my friends over in the stands.
Yeah, that'll do
where
it.
my wife infamously said, "My snow cone,"
Oh, God.
because that's what she was scared of the most.
Oh, wow. Jody
Flying
pulled off the
forearm
upset
against
with the
Mads
phenomenal
Kruger.
forearm.
Holy cow!
Jody himself's a great wrestler, but that is a massive upset. Number 346. Jody himself.
My goodness. With a springboard, flying elbow, a flying forearm, I should say.
I remember calling
way
that
to go,
swan dive
Jody
elbow
himself.
attack, but I mean, it was basically the phenomenal forearm. But that was,
But
that was really the only way he was going to beat Matt was to, kind of stick and move.
Oh, absolutely.
He wasn't going to match power with him.
No. He nailed it right in the head. Done and done. And speaking of big monster wrestlers, we've got the
That
prehistoric
actual dinosaur.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a name with a moniker that would go with prehistoric. The prehistoric predator.
Ooh.
Why not?
This one, we were talking earlier about big men slapping meat. This is gonna be one of those matches because Isaiah Broner is not exactly a
Not one to take
cruiserweight
lightly
himself.
because he is not light.
No, he shouldn't be anything lightly.
I do love the name that Luchasaurus thought he was not. He didn't realize that when he was wrestling in Lucha Underground, that the fans were chanting Luchasaurus. He thought they were chanting "You just started," and like they were like
You make fun of him for
haunting
being
him.
green. Yeah.
And then somebody like pointed out to him, "No, dude, they called you Luchasaurus. You need to use that."
Yeah, you are over right now.
And then a boy and his dinosaur became a thing. Yeah, we're getting a lot of the pro wrestling internet community is giving a lot of attention right now to us with these shocking upsets and powerhouse wins that have been going on left and right. And folks, if you want to help us out, that is the best way to do it. Retweet, tag us, tag your favorite wrestlers, all on at PW Simulated over there. See that? You right above Pat's head?
Above my head.
There it is.
I point, but I'm worried my hand
Use
would
the
disappear.
use the hashtag the 500, and you will help us out. Help us, help you, help us.
Help us, help you. All right, so yeah, this is it's going to be a couple of big boys in this match.
Have you noticed that Luchasaurus lately his thing has been just repeating the last word that Jungle Boy says in a promo?
I feel like he's reverting into a more primordial state. Where
Is that Christian's fault?
Maybe.
Is
I
he
mean, he's got a
bringing out
master's
the-
degree for crying out loud.
Yeah, he's very well spoken. He's in medieval history, I believe it is.
Yep, that's right.
And now he's one of the top wrestlers in AEW. and just it's such a cool look. It just, the whole thing is just an amazing, just a presence. Not to mention that he's not just a big man. The guy can strike and moonsaults
Fly,
he flies quick in that ring.
Yeah. His standing moonsault is insane for being 6'7", 275.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the first AEW show I ever went to was his, because he had been out injured for a while, and Jungle Boy was just working singles matches. And Jungle Boy had a match against one of the members of Dark Order, and this is back when they were still doing the Creeper gimmick. And so, like, Jungle Boy's just getting the crap beat out of him. Evil Uno and Stu are beating him up. And there's a bunch of creepers that are getting their shots in. I think this was after the Daniels incident, so none of them were actually hitting him. But then the Jurassic Express music hit, and Luchasaurus comes out to a massive pop. And the very first thing he does, one of the creepers comes running at him, and he hits him with the most brutal big boot I've ever seen, where he basically stomps him through the chest.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
He just, like, puts his boot on his chest and just pushes him down.
Pushes him down into the ring.
Yeah, like, but this was on the ramp, like, on his way down to help Jungle Boy. One of the creepers ran up the ramp at him and just got, like, that scene in Kung Pao when he punches the plug out of the guy's stomach.
I mean, how is that even possible?
He's like, oh, mother, bone.
It's like not even bone or anything in there.
It's like his stomach plug.
He had you could tell that he had a lot of influence, and he even said it himself that a lot of early Kane matches have influenced his style. And one of the things he said he learned is he doesn't have to take all the hits that he does. You know, he's a big dude, and it's true. He doesn't, and when it makes a bigger, you know, impact, as it were, when he does get hit with a move like that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think probably Christian has probably had a lot to do with that as well. You know, it's kind of, you know, their storyline, but also real life mentor kind of helping out with, like, you know, you should be letting Jack take the bumps, and then you come in. You know, it's the Brett and Anvil dynamic. Like, you never saw Neidhart. You know, the heat was always on Brett, and then the hot tag, and Anvil would come in and destroy people. And Anvil wasn't doing tail whips and standing moonsaults and stuff.
No.
But yeah,
I love the strikes that Luchasaurus does.
Yeah.
At one point was known as, or at least that's what I've heard, is that there was a guy called Judas Devlin in NXT for like a hot minute who apparently resembled Luchasaurus, but Luchasaurus is a dinosaur, so there's no way that
he's been around forever. Yeah,
he's 65 million years old, I believe.
I believe that's right. Yeah. His I'm looking at his cage match page, and his list of trainers is very bizarre. Shane Ballard, Shannon Ballard, Bill DeMott, Ricky Steamboat, Terry Taylor, and Billy Gunn.
Oh, he learned a lot from everybody then.
Have all had a hand in training. And you can see, like, elements of all of them in the work he does.
You also got to think that's, like, the most contradictory coach to coach to coach scenario.
Yeah, like, forget it's like that Mitch Hedberg joke about, I saw a commercial and they're like, forget everything you know about mattresses. And then they tried to sell me mattresses and I didn't know what they were talking about. It's like every time he went to a new trainer, they're like, forget all that other stuff that DeMott taught you. Here's how you do it.
And poor Luchasaurus is like, what's wrestling?
What's wrestling? But hey, it's appropriate. We've been talking almost nonstop about Luchasaurus, considering Isaiah Broner is known as the Midwest's best kept secret. He's a man after my own heart, a Detroit native. You know, was, as PWI put it, busting heads and leaving broken bodies all over the East Coast.
He's doing pretty well right now.
He is holding his own in there against Luchasaurus, which is more than a lot of people can say. He spent a lot of the evaluation period in OVW. Had a shot at the OVW Southern Tag Team titles with his partner AJ Daniels. They came up short, but it was a good showing. Broner's another one of those guys that, you know, if a place like MLW or GCW or someplace like that, you know, is willing to, F5 on the floor there from Broner.
Not nearly as bad as what Ace Austin took. Now here's
Austin
the thing.
Theory.
Austin Theory just basically jumped off the top of that.
Good.
This could be. We can get a count out. Oh!
Broner
he did not make it.
Broner was the one that hit the move on the floor, but
Yeah.
it took so much out of him that Luchasaurus was able to. Man, we haven't had a count-out finish in a while.
That's insane.
I mean, I guess they both come out of it looking strong. We'll go with that for the inside baseball version of what just happened there. But man, I would have enjoyed watching those two beat the crap out of each other for another 10 minutes and 44 seconds.
Absolutely.
But Luchasaurus advances
Wow.
to the round of 256. Nope, I can't.
Our condolences to commiserations, as it were, to Isaiah Broner. But that's how the game works sometimes.
Yeah. Trying to find.
Man, that was we're kind of stunned with that one because we really thought like every time we've seen the 20 count come up, it's almost to the last second that they've been able to like, get in the ring. But man, that was insane.
That was only our second count out ever
In the history of this show.
in the history of the show. The first one was in episode 8 when JR Kratos beat LSG by count out. And now Luchasaurus has beaten Isaiah Broner. Move on to the round of 256.
Now we have, speaking of 20, you take 10 away from that, and you've got Sean Spears, the chairman.
The accountability buddy.
The accountability. Oh, what a great name. Sean Spears has been amazing lately.
And then he got on Twitter.
It's just one of the he's so entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
But he is going up against, and I love this description, the saucy butcher from anywhere and nowhere.
Yes. Yes, indeed. We got Hoodfoot Mo Atlas is going to be his opponent here. There's Sean Spears. Folks, I have almost 1,500 wrestlers in this game. It takes me a while to cycle through them to find people, especially when they're low alphabetically. So apologies for delaying the stream a little bit as I grab both of these guys to put them.
You know what I love the fact with Sean Spears in his involvement with MJF is that that is like, you want to talk about long-term booking. The fact that their allyship goes all the way back to probably one of the first pandemic shows, or empty arena shows in Daly's place, when they're taking bets on the matches.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, we're not doing anything here. And then off mic, want to get in on this action?
Here we go. It's match number 8 of 10. This is our 16th of 24 first round episodes. So once this is over, we're 2/3 of the way through the first round.
Holy
we
cow.
have eliminated, actually at this point we have eliminated 160 of the 500. Sean Spears, the accountability buddy himself, coming out to the ring with, I think that's Lena Cam is our referee for this match.
Because remember,
Yes.
when you're in a pinnacle, you're always on top.
That's right. I was gonna say you're pinnacle for life, but that's something else.
That's totally something else. Yeah, that's Bullet Club. And only Bullet Club.
Only Bullet Club. Unfortunate choice of colored tights for Mo Atlas. That might just be an issue with my monitor, but okay, there we go. Now that it's a full shot, it's more noticeable. He's wearing a very dark red tights. Mo Atlas, another fellow Midwestern guy from Indianapolis, did a lot of work for Camp Leapfrog and GCW during the course of the evaluation period. Took on a lot of guys we've seen already or will see coming up: Mike Outlaw, Timmy Lou Retton, Darius Carter, AJ Gray, AC Mack. He was in Paradigm Pro. He's a multiple-time heavy hitters champion, which is basically their UWF division. If we can stop talking about UWF rules, I'm okay with that. We don't have any great wrestlers this week, so that's helpful.
By the way, I think I just figured something out. I think we can blame Sean Spears for the entire reason why Cody Rhodes left AEW. Because
Going back to the chair shot.
if it goes all the way back to the chair shot, Cody was never the same. He went all kind of like meta narrative. Tried to do like this kind of, you know, almost art house style booking, and maybe got some sense knocked loose from the chairman.
There's broken Cody Rhodes for the last 2 or 3 years.
Like literal.
Mo Atlas Hoodfoot is showing off a little bit here against the 20-year pro. Atlas has only been at the business what, 3 or 4 years. But he's another guy that's he's rated 243 in the 500 this year. It's pretty impressive for a guy only in his 4th year in the business and without a ton of major show exposure. I think matches he did in Camp League Frog and GCW helped with that. He is based on the PWI rating. Based on the PWI rating, he's actually the odds-on favorite in this one. Both men down on the floor. I'm gonna get another count out. Uh-oh. Chairman's got a chair.
Oh boy.
Dropped him right in Lower Manhattan. Twice.
I haven't heard that said in a while.
That's I just blatantly stole that from Andrew Everett.
Yeah.
He uses that one on the actually that might have been a New Legacy thing. It's one of the wrestling streamers that I have become obsessed with. Ushigoroshi! Yeah, I'm completely obsessed with New Legacy and Dub3 over the last few months. In addition to all the real wrestling I'm watching, I'm also watching so much simulated.
You know, there's been a lot of wrestling going on lately in Atlantic City, in my home state. JCW has been killing it over there. It's one of their like big territories, I guess. It's kind of interesting how they kind of have almost like 2 different rosters when it comes to like their West Coast shows and the East Coast shows. Ooh, big thrust kick. What would you say the difference is between a super kick and a like savate kick and a thrust kick?
I would say the main difference is what precedes it. The super kick usually has a flourish to it, where it's like a step back and then a hop forward almost.
Yeah.
Whereas like a crescent kick or a side kick is just kind of a standing where you are and pow off to the side. And a savate kick is like sort of starts as a big boot, but then turns sideways mid-kick almost. They're all very similar and basically intercable, but if I had to define the differences,
it's really whatever
big right hand from Butchfoot.
It really all just depends on what the commentator calls it.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Because not everybody does a super kick, but a lot of people can do a thrust kick.
Yes.
Like that, I would say is a thrust kick because it's not like a step into.
Right.
Oh, Blue Thunder Bomb.
Pulls him right up. Right back to Lower Manhattan.
Oh, man, they have just been going back and forth. Slam for slam. Sean Spears almost hit his own head on his own chair on that Russian leg sweep. That would have been a bit of a backfire.
That crank into a suplex there from...
That's a big, standing big boot. This may be one of the heaviest hitting matches. Ooh! I haven't seen that done since Chris Hero.
That's where I've seen it before. I was trying to play like, I know it's been years since I've seen somebody do that.
He is just... I didn't know that. I guess this is where the Hoodfoot name comes into, because he is just crushing them with those strikes.
Ushigoroshi from Sean Spears, 2.9, says Lena Cam.
Very, very close.
Go behind Spears. I thought he might be going for a Blue Thunder of his own. Like, I can do that too.
Yeah, I don't think he had the power to lift him up into that, though.
No.
Just kind of be going for those momentum suplexes of sorts.
Mm-hmm. And right back to...
No, he catches himself without landing onto the knee, and it's an interesting reversal.
Yeah, not something you see often, which honestly people could probably do more.
I would love to see it.
Push off of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is his finisher. That lariat is usually his finish, but he's not done with Sean Spears apparently.
He wants to punish him.
This is for Wardlow. Did you see that, speaking of big meaty men in the ladder match, did you see that Keith Lee has officially named that deal that he did to Isaiah Cassidy? And it is now called the Uncle Phil. Well, Spears reversed it into a pin of his own, and that did it. Sean Spears, after really kind of getting the crap beat out of him for 14 and a half minutes, picks up the win over Mo Atlas. And the accountability advances to round 2. And that one gets 100%. Very good match. I don't know that it's the best of the night in my book, but Fire Pro loved it.
And we love it too.
We do too.
And I hope you guys out there who are watching are loving it. I hope it's McDonald's. Yeah, I hope it's McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Ooh, that joke made me grimace.
I got nothing. I was trying to think of like a Hamburglar thing, but like, I guess you could just say there was just too much rabble.
I don't remember who it was, but somebody tweeted this week that Taco Bell needs to have their own version of the Hamburglar called the Chalupa Cabra. It's like, yep,
oh, that's it.
Oh. That's the winner right there.
That's beautiful.
Whoever you need to pay to make that happen.
The Chalupa Cabra. Oh my God. Okay, so we have quite a match here. Erica Leigh Miller Taffer, her full name, as she's posted on Twitter, against Jake Hager. Oh boy.
It hurt. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Slight size disparity.
A little bit. Just a little
Jake
bit.
Hager is a foot taller than Erica. He's also 130 pounds heavier.
He got into what I call re-sign shape. where I mean, if you saw him recently when he showed up, he looked exactly like he did when he debuted. Because he had put on a bit of muscle, I guess, for some extra weight for get weight status for his Bellator fight. But then he trimmed down again recently. The Gummy Bear Kid, Erica, I'm for you on this one. I'm trying, you know. I need to see you get the surprise win on this.
Yeah, Erica Lee. If you haven't checked out her YouTube channel, she does candy reviews on her YouTube channel.
Then I'm already a fan. I'm already a super fan.
Hence the Gummy Bear Kid gimmick. She lives that gimmick. When she's not in the ring,
That's awesome.
At Erica Wrestles isn't wrestling. She is reviewing candy on YouTube. Yeah, she's super fun.
If one of her ratings isn't too sweet, then she's missing out on free gimmick money there.
I very much enjoy that one of the things listed in her, because the PWI 500 always has like a little blurb about each wrestler. One of the notes is infamous potty mouth, which is on full display on that YouTube channel. It's just a lot of fun. Hager, not so much with the potty mouth, not so much with the mouth at all. Does not talk, hardly ever, which works for him.
Yeah. Sometimes when he does say things, he gets in trouble.
Yes, indeed.
Although he does like to do kind of the last word repetition. Championships.
Yes. Yeah. Hager's one of those guys. Spears as well. That's like best
Less
not
is
to
more.
scratch too deep into what they're like outside the ring if you like them in the ring.
But then
they're
less
not,
is more, and it works.
Yeah, and they're not, as deeply problematic as some people that we don't mention on this show.
No.
It's just like, oh, really?
Yeah.
You traveled the world and met you work with Sonny Kiss and you believe this? Like,
Yeah.
it's not cool, dude.
But I'm for the Gummy Bear Kid right now.
Absolutely. I like Jake Hager. I think he's one of the like underrated talents of the last generation. Man, how can you not love Erica Lee?
Yeah.
3-4 years in, Richmond, Virginia native. Just bounced all over the place. Camp Leapfrog, GCW, IWTV.
Do you think she gets? Do you think she gets tested for gummy bear juice?
Not by the Russians.
Okay.
Too soon?
I'm pretty sure the Winter Olympics are over.
It's ignoring the fact that you're having a massive international sporting event in the middle of a global pandemic, in a part of the country that doesn't have that much snow, being in a country with massive human rights violations, and then you ban a country for doping, but you let them send athletes that are doping. Just kind of like, can we just put hockey and curling on and ignore everything else?
I will say, my son did enjoy watching curling because he got his Swiffer out afterwards and just was like, clean. And I'm like, yeah, they're cleaning the ice. That's what they're doing.
I mean, it kind of is. They're brushing away debris so the stone can move faster. Ooh, big blue thunder bomb there from Hager.
Shout out again to Isaiah Broner, who just gave a like to our stuff. Sorry you didn't get you didn't get into the ring in time, man. And you were the one who gave the F5.
I'll say it was a hell of a move to put Luchasaurus down, but
maybe it took more effort to put the move onto him.
That's what I'm going with. Is that it was like a last ditch effort of energy to get the move off, and just didn't have it in him to get back up.
But these two are been going strike
Hey,
for
watch
strike,
the hand
blow
there,
for
buddy.
blow. That's
2.9.
I thought that was gonna be it. What does he
Erica
call
Lee
that?
hanging
The
in
Hager
there.
bomb, I guess.
Yeah.
Or is his jump up version of the Vader bomb, the Hager bomb?
Actually, I think they are calling that the Hager bomb.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you call that, but it was impressive.
I'll
Maybe that's
call
the
it Hager bomb.
Hagermeister. Suplex to the floor from Erica Lee. She's content.
You
to
can't
just
really
let
call
Hero
it the
count
Bellator
out.
bomber because that's like copyright.
Right.
Oh, okay. That's
Maybe they
Blue
call it
Thunder bomb.
The Go Big Show.
Big Show. That's a great wrestling name, right?
Yeah, somebody can go with that.
I do love that Paul White came in with no more BS. I was like, I get it.
See what you did there.
How much do you love, by the way, the fact that Mark Henry's "It's time for the main event" is over with the crowd?
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. That is significantly more over than GFY.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
I'm glad that he seems to have dropped that after.
I think because he realized that Moxley said it in real life.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the program.
just blew my gimmick. Fine. Brainbuster from Erica Lee. Off the ropes, running big boot, and Hager just crumbles to the mat.
I think he put. Oh, come on. That's just dirty fighting.
Kicks her leg out of her leg, and then that release German suplex sending her to the floor.
Oh! She flipped out of the ring.
Yeah, She basically did a Arihara moonsault onto nobody.
There's a belly-to-belly suplex. Dragging her into the ring.
Nope, punch to the gut. These two are having a war. Erica Lee going toe-to-toe with Jake Hager.
Strike for strike.
Standing drop
She's
kick.
gummy
Hager's back up with a
bearing up.
big whip.
I guess her favorite wrestler also would be Heath Bar Slater.
That makes sense. Makes sense. Jeez.
The
you would think it would be easier to make
more candy puns.
more candy puns. I mean, obviously your favorite tag team is Eminem.
Yeah.
There's the ankle lock. That's gotta be it. They call it no. She backed him into the ropes.
I think
So
Ted
Piero-
DiBiase, the 100 grand man.
Big splash off the top from Eric.
The rest of this match is us trying to think of candy puns, folks. I think that she's probably got some acquaintances with oh god, I lost it.
Oh no.
Oh man.
A super kick. She may have just saved you with a.
That's true.
She did.
Oh!
Erica Lee has beaten Jake Hager.
Wow.
242. What am I? 245. Erica Lee.
What did she? I missed what she hit her with him with.
That was a super kick.
Yeah.
Super kick party. Or as the game called it, super kick. So it's face in the middle. I don't think I've ever seen it that way.
I mean,
Guys, if you've got candy wrestling puns,
please tweet them out to us,
by all
especially
means.
Derek wrestles.
yes.
I think we all.
As soon as we're done, I'm gonna have some lunch, and then I'm gonna go on Erica Lee's YouTube channel and watch some more. Because I just kind of skimmed a couple just to get an idea of what we were gonna talk about here, and loved them. But yeah, there's a deep dive coming. She is great, and congrats,
Folks,
Erica Lee. Moving on.
looks like
Whew,
we've had
boy.
enough talk.
It's time.
It's
for the
time
main event.
for the main event.
So
There is a
by
podcast
virtue
I
of
listen to that uses that sound clip, but he plays it in slow motion. So
Oh, no.
it sounds even like, I don't know why, but each time it just sounds slower and slower. Looks like we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
By virtue of winning that match, Erica Lee has now earned herself a second round showdown with Randy Orton.
Ooh.
So, good luck
RK
with
Oreos.
that. RK.
Or
Yeah.
RKO Henry.
How are you so much better at this than I? This is like right up my alley, and for some reason I'm blanking on.
I
candy
eat a
puns.
lot of candy, perhaps too much. But yes, whoa, and that's all I can say.
Everything DMCA.
That's it. That's it.
So earlier we saw Luchasaurus, one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions, who will be defending the titles in a really weirdly convoluted three-way after a couple of battle royals.
Yeah, that one even like
That's a very TNA bit of
it's
booking.
weird for me.
It feels like somebody in AEW saw the rumors that CYN was maybe going to bring in Russo, and they're like, we can do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. The
CYN is a real thing.
claim your narrative, is that what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Control your narrative.
Control your narrative. But what started out as just like a storyline for EC3 has now become full-fledged promotion with apparently a TV deal.
But it sounds like.
Good on them. I feel like that's going to be like what's differentiating them is they are going to do Jim Cornette's favorite type of wrestling, cinematic wrestling.
It probably
Cornette
will
even
be if
like
they hire
wrestling
Cornette as an
like-
announcer. He will
Oh, God.
probably change his tune on it.
So we know a lot of the mainstream, for the most part, knows a lot about Jungle Boy. What do we know about KC Navarro?
KC Navarro, relatively recent signing for MLW. He's in the middle of a little mini feud with Enzo there. Enzo was storyline suspended for a couple of weeks, but that looks
Enzo got jacked, by the way.
Enzo, yeah.
Holy
Enzo is
cow.
ripped. But yeah, KC Navarro is the Combat Zone Wrestling Wired champion.
Oh,
which
yes.
Which, if you know anything about CCW, you would think that Wired probably means that he won it in a barbed wire match. No, Wired is just the name of their
It's their
TV
TV
show.
championship.
Yeah.
A title once held by Adam Cole, baby.
That's right. He has had that title for a while. Competed in several dark matches for AEW. So a lot of people thought that he was that him signing there was imminent, but he wound up going to MLW instead. Native of Wichita Falls, Texas. So that hotbed of Texas wrestling. There's a lot of representation in MLW alone. Plus, Mark Henry from Silsby. The Von Erichs are Texas boys. Excuse me. And this is actually the second ever meeting between these two. I mentioned that Navarro had done a few dark matches. He teamed with fellow MLW wrestler Danny Limelight, who's now Rivera, Slice Boogie's tag team partner, against Jurassic Express on the October 22nd, 2020 episode of Dark. Jurassic Express won that match, but not necessarily strangers to each other, KC Navarro and Jungle Boy. Navarro, 6 years? Yeah, 6-year pro. This was his second year in the PWI 500. He dropped from 348 to 444, but I suspect that his exposure in MLW is going to shoot him back up the list in 2022 when that list comes out later this year. But yeah, he was a pretty red hot commodity coming off those dark matches and his appearances in GCW, and he was in the Super X Cup for Impact as well. Lost in the first round to Blake Christian, but he was in, I don't know if you remember, GCW did a show where Faye Jackson hosted a gray sweatpants battle royal. KC was in that. That was one of his first big kind of mainstream.
I love when wrestlers get in on like when promotions kind of get in on internet gimmicks, like that was a big TikTok thing.
Yeah.
with the gray sweatpants, and I just think it's fun to get it kind of like in on that. And big, just knockout punch,
straight right hand from Jungle Boy, Jungle Jack Perry.
The kid's name's Jack Perry. I'm gonna call him Jack Perry.
Cool.
Future world champion for sure.
Oh yeah. One of the pillars of AEW is not just a gimmick. The very first AEW show I ever saw, not the one that I went to live, but the first, whatever that first free pay-per-view was that they did, either Fighter Fest or Fight for the Fallen.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Fighter Fest.
He was in a 4-way, I think, and he did a split-legged moonsault off the actual turnbuckle onto the floor. On the three opponents. Like, I have never seen that. I've never seen anybody move like this guy. Like, coming out of that show, he and Darby Allin were like, okay, these are my guys.
Yeah.
In AEW, these are my guys. Since added, to that, Sammy and Eddie Kingston and a couple others are like, oh yeah, no. Anytime they are on screen, like, the show is better.
That has been the big difference maker for AEW versus something like the Dixie Carter era of Impact, where it was all just dependent on the ex-WWE guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the show is more about the homegrown talent.
Yeah.
And the underexposed. Really becoming like top tier people.
Yeah.
As they should be. When you have to have your defined people. Mm-hmm. And yes, there are obviously, you've got Bryan Danielson, you have CM Punk, you have such amazing, like legendary modern talent. But what they are doing to showcase these pillars, these homegrown talent, is just it's absolutely what wrestling should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that they do that Impact doesn't, is they use the names to augment and supplement their guys. Like, Punk didn't come in and go straight into a feud with Bryan Danielson or Jon Moxley or Chris Jericho. He came in and his first match was with Darby Allin. His first real feud was with 2.0. Like, I mean, he's been working, kind of the undercard guys for a while, and now his first real major pay-per-view build feud is with MJF. And Danielson, a couple of burners with Kenny and with Hangman, and now he's got the storyline going with Mox. But it sounds like the focus of that storyline is going to be guys like Daniel Garcia and Lee Moriarty, and the new guys that Danielson wants to turn into the new Danielson and Mox.
I would love to. If they don't call it the Dragon Dojo, they're missing out. Because here's the thing. Oh, cool, Poison Rana. Because think about this. Oh,
Shining Wizard was like a reverse boom, and that
there you go.
3 count. Jungle Boy is your winner. Didn't even need the snare trap. Hits him with that
well
running
done
knee.
For one of the pillars of AEW, Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I love that his Twitter handle is Boy Myth Legend.
Yes. Yes, our average rating this week, according to Fire Pro, 87%, which might be our lowest so far. Second to look that up, but I felt like we had some really good matches this week.
I thought we did too. I thought, this has been a real 10 solid great matches. Again, we apologize for anything. We're still, now that we decided to go live with everything, we're still kind of picking up the tracks. But again, all streams have their faults, and we're no different. But we appreciate that the talent that's actually in the matches on the show are chiming in and interacting with us online. It really, we get a kick out of it, just because we're just fans. By the end of the day, like I said, we're just fans, and we love doing this. And if anything, we are trying to get exposure out for talents that you wouldn't necessarily see being put online, or get a lot of again, it's just all about putting them out there.
The PWI, a lot, especially this week, because we were using those edits from Bobby Batson. These are all, and I'm not obscure because they're in the PWI 500. They're known, but if you're just watching weekly televised wrestling, you're not seeing Charles Mason or Arrow Boy or Travis Huckabee or Eel O'Neill or Jody himself or Isaiah Broner or Hookfoot or Erica Lee. These are all. This is the next wave of people. These are the people that are coming behind the Jungle Boys and the MJFs and the Sammy Guevaras. In 3 to 4 years, we're going to be talking about, TNT champion Eel O'Neill. Right. Or, this is the next wave of guys. And
when eventually all of them get booked on Pro Wrestling Simulated's in real life event, which one day will happen. I have a feeling.
Yes.
Would love to do it. I have the venue in my mind of where it will be. I've got the whole line. One day.
Yeah, that's funny because that's where your mind goes. My mind is going to who we book. So I'm thinking,
that would be your job.
I'm thinking, how fun would Eel O'Neill against Don't Die Miles be?
I would love it.
That would be so much fun. I would love to see that. And I wonder if we could even get some of the MLW guys, because Slice and Alex Kane have both been, we've interacted with them on Twitter a couple times. Maybe
here's what I'm hoping for this week. I would like a quiet week in the wrestling news, just so that we can all settle down for a little bit and have some breathing room. Like, I'm glad for all the positive stuff that has happened, like Matt Cardona winning the NWA Championship. Just seeing the great matches that have gone on TV. But, like, as far as, like, surprises and just kind of shock news and stuff like that, settle down, world. Let's just...
Yeah, we're good
Good
for a
right
while.
now. You piled up a little too much. you overbooked your show this past week in real life.
Vince Russo is booking February 2022.
Bro, I gotta tell you, bro. Like, I've never heard a man say bro more in real life. And like, you know, Matt Riddle should be copyright infringement. So,
Right.
all right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching Pro
Want a
Wrestling
quick rundown
Simulated.
on next week's show before we...
We are going to take a quick look with our card for next week.
So we will see. It was a match that was scheduled for this week. I mentioned it last week, but we will see Dexter Lumis against Frontman John next week. Ethan Allen against Koji Iwamoto. Former NWA World Champion Trevor Murdoch. Excuse me. Against Bushi.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Former Impact Digital Media Champion Jordan Grace will be against Isaiah Cassidy. This is what I'm really looking forward to. Chris Jericho, the Demo God, against
The Influencer.
against Swoggle. We will see Matt Hardy against Ray Horace. Jay Lethal against Ziggy Hine.
Cool.
Dominic Mysterio against Yasufumi Nakanoe. Jake Lee against Sho. And Mace, formerly of Retribution, against Kaisuke Okuda.
All right.
So that is next week's show. If you've ever wanted to see Chris Jericho one-on-one with Swoggle, your chance is coming next Sunday morning.
And DDT Pro, I am serious. If you can get us to host a sanctioned Iron Man heavy metalweight championship match, we will do it.
Yes.
No question. We will devote an entire show
Absolutely.
to it.
You tell us who we want, I will find or make an edit of whoever
we
you want
will
to edit.
absolutely have it. I have already messaged out to DDT Pro. I will. People out there who are watching, message them. Let them know we can be the place where, if they think they've had a lot of title changes, we could make history by not just having wrestlers and inanimate objects be champions, but digital avatars of wrestlers.
Yeah.
So even the real wrestlers won't technically be able to have that count as their title reign. These will be video game creations
Digital version of
having legitimate title reigns.
Yep.
Let's make history, folks.
Digital Yuki Ino is the new champion.
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you everybody for watching. Once again, we will be back next week with 10 more matches, continuing on in this insane tournament. Please, real world, calm down for just a little bit so we can have some time to just
7
enjoy
days.
wrestling. And that's what you should do, folks. Remember, wrestling is fun. When it's bad, it's fun. When it's great, it's amazing. And we have fun with it all the time. I have been Mike.
Let's go back.
We will see you next time on the 500. Have a great week, everybody.